Welcome to episode 36 of the Reality Podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and also ring those bells for all notifications. I gotta be honest with you, really fast if I can. I've heard about this Seth Rollins Sports Illustrated interview about him, throwing Jon Moxley under the bus and stuff like that. Listen. Rollins is salty because the fact that Jon Moxley left, that he wouldn't re-sign with Vince and World Wrestling Entertainment. That's what all that interview is technically about. Rollins is just salty. And the fact that Rollins is going to defend World Wrestling Entertainment, he has to. The simple fact that he's Universal Champion. You're going to expect Rollins to go on an interview and not have him talk shit about World Wrestling Entertainment? No, he's not. He's not going to. He's the Universal Champion. People are salty over the shit that he said. Yeah, sure, Rollins is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. The way he's being booked is like fucking straight pussy. Just look at him at Stomping Grounds. Made him look like a complete fucking pussy. But that interview with Sports Illustrated, what you want him to say? What do you want Rollins to say? He's the Universal Champion. He's not gonna sit in a random podcast and sit in a freaking interview and trash WWE. He's not going to. He's not going to. That would put him in a bad predicament. Yeah, sure, I don't agree with what Rollins said. I don't agree with the shit that he says. But at the same time, he's not going to talk shit about the company that he's in. Mind you, he's the Universal Champion representing Monday Night Raw. So Rollins is not going to sit there and just talk shit. Listen, I bet Rollins knows in the back of his mind, he knows that this company is dog shit. He knows that in the back of his head. But you think for 1 second Rollins is just gonna come to a random podcast or a random fucking interview and speak his mind? No. He's not going to. Yeah, sure, I love Seth Rollins. I always have. I love Seth Rollins, but there comes to a point where if something's wrong, you gotta call him out for it. So I don't know why everybody's, bugging or going crazy over the Seth Rollins Sports Illustrated interview. It's just a bunch of garbage spewing. That's just it. That's just it. Especially for a guy like Seth Rollins, who I love and respect. What do you expect him to do? What do you expect Seth Rollins to do at the end of the day? Talk shit about Vince? Talk shit about creative? He's not gonna do that. Even though he knows this in the back of his mind, which he will never tell. He'll never say it. But at the same time, Seth Rollins wishes he was in Jon Moxley's shoes. If you really think about it. Jon Moxley has creative freedom in freaking AEW. Do you think Rollins has creative freedom over his character? No. So please, just don't worry about it. Let Rollins be. Let Rollins feud with whoever he's feuding with. Fucking Baron Corbin. For crying out loud. You guys get the picture there. But I'm going to go over the remaining news that I have here on episode number 36 of the Reality Podcast. Now, before I go over the news here, I have to talk about sports. Because I haven't spoken about sports yesterday. I didn't talk about it yesterday. I'm just going to go over it today. Now, first things first, I'm going to talk about the free agency situation in the NBA. You guys got guys like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, among others. I said this to my good buddy Kevin the other day while I was at work. If the Lakers get Kyrie Irving, the Lakers are no question winning the NBA championship. No question. If KD and Kyrie go to Brooklyn, and they go to the Brooklyn Nets, they're the best team in the East, no question. They're the best team in the East. No fucking question. Now, Kawhi, I don't know where Kawhi Leonard's going. Many people said the Clippers. Many people said the Lakers. Many people say he might stay in Toronto. If I'm Kawhi, I'm staying in Toronto. I'm staying in Toronto. Why? What is it in the Lakers that Kawhi is interested in? What, AD? LeBron? The Lakers have enough cap space to sign one max player. They're not going to use it on Kawhi. They're not going to use it on Kawhi Leonard. The Lakers know they need a point guard. You got to get Kyrie. You got to get Kemba. Why would the Lakers go after Kawhi when they need a point guard? That team is not complete yet. The Lakers aren't even a complete team. Now, I heard this bogus fucking Twitch streamer named Carlos Story. He said this, and I find this fucking ridiculous. He said this, and when I heard him say this specific thing, I was like, wow. Fuck this dude for even thinking this. And it's fucking delusional. And I said this on Twitter. The most delusional fans in the NBA right now are the Warriors and the Lakers. This pathetic bum-ass streamer said, you take out LeBron out of the Lakers and you put Kawhi. They make the conference finals. What? What? You take out LeBron, you take him out, and you put in Kawhi with that Lakers team from this past NBA season. They make the conference finals. Those are his words. And I said to him, you are the biggest fucking delusional Laker fan of all time. You think for 1 second the Lakers can beat a team like Denver? No. You think the Lakers can beat a team like the Warriors? No. Fuck no. Fuck no. They're not. You take out LeBron out of that Laker team, they don't make the playoffs. They don't make the playoffs. They don't. Now, he said you take out LeBron and you put in Kawhi, they make the conference finals. They're not beating Denver. They're not beating Golden State. Houston? Yeah, maybe. Portland? Yeah. Give me Portland. Houston? Maybe. Denver? No. Golden State? No. You're not beating those those two teams. And those two teams were the top two teams in the Western Conference this past season. They were the best two teams in the West. You think that the Lakers is going to beat Denver and Golden State in the playoffs? No. Because I asked the question. You're in that Laker team and you're that center. Who's stopping Nikola Jokic? And if you're playing the Warriors, who's stopping Boogie? Who's stopping Curry? Who's stopping Clay? Who's stopping KD? Who's stopping Iggy? And who's stopping Draymond Green? Nobody on that Laker team. LeBron's beat them before, except KD. Laker fans are the most delusional basketball fans in the history of the league. And as well, Golden State Warrior fans. That's just my honest opinion there. You take out LeBron out of that Laker team, they don't make the playoffs at all. They don't. But you're going to take out LeBron and put in Kawhi? Kawhi by himself led the Raptors to a championship. Do you think he's going to lead the Lakers to a championship? No. No. So if I'm the Lakers, I wouldn't even get Kawhi, get Kyrie. Because if the Lakers get Kyrie Irving, that's your championship right there. The Warriors are going to be they'll still be a good team. But they're not going to be as good as they were the past 5 years. Clay's going to be out for the season. He could be out by as early as the All-Star break. KD, depending if he resigns with the Warriors. Because you all know KD's not playing at all next year. He's not playing next season. You got Curry, you got Draymond, you got Iggy, and you got Boogie. That's all you got with that same bench. Free agency on Sunday is going to be ridiculously crazy. It's going to be crazy, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be fucking ridiculous, and I can't wait for it. Moving on to baseball. Yankees are, of course, the best team in the league, in my honest opinion. The Yankees are going to play the Red Sox later on today. Or should I say they should be playing right now by the time this video is up. The Yankees should be playing the Boston Red Sox in London. In the London series. I expect the Yankees to beat Boston because if you see that fucking field down in London, my God. It is a fucking hitter's ballpark to the max. They said center field, dead center field is 385. Yankee Stadium, dead center field is 408. There should be a home run derby in that ballpark for the next 2 days. For the next 2 fucking days. This should be good. This should be really, really good. It should be fun. Can't wait for it. That's all I got there for the sports portion of the podcast. Wrestling, I got a lot of news to go over. Here on the podcast. So if this is a really long podcast, enjoy it while it lasts because there might not be an episode Sunday, tomorrow. There might not be an episode tomorrow. Because I'm going to go over all the news that I have here. And then tomorrow, if there is enough news to do a podcast for Sunday, if I'm not on Six Flags on Sunday, then I'll give you guys episode 37 of the reality podcast tomorrow. If not, I'll give you guys episode 37 on Monday night, on Monday afternoon, before Monday Night Raw. So there you go. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel on a Saturday, June 29th, 2019. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys are excited about the NBA free agency, if you guys are excited about Fighter Fest that's going to happen tonight, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below what you guys thought of the podcast. And also, if you guys are new to the channel and you're watching this video for the very first time, hit that subscribe button down below, ring those bells, guys, for all notifications. Check out episode 35 of the podcast yesterday. Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman named WWE Executive Directors. Paul Heyman will be the Executive Director of Monday Night Raw, and Bischoff will be the Executive Director of SmackDown Live. I'll give you guys my honest opinion on all of that. Link to this video, link to the podcast will be in the annotation that you see on the upper right hand corner of your screen. Also, check out NXT review as well. I'm looking at the numbers right now for NXT review. It is right now at 391 views with 14 thumbs up. This is my most watched video on my channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Link to NXT review will be in the annotation that you see on the upper right hand corner of your screen. Check out SmackDown Live review as well for this past Tuesday. We got 2, not 1, but 2 out of 3 falls matches in one night. Talk about overkill there. Link to SmackDown Live review will be in the annotation above in the upper right hand corner of your screen. Check out Monday Night Raw review. The second coming of Jesus Christ couldn't save this show. That is 100% factual, despite having The Undertaker as a nice surprise on this random edition of Monday Night Raw. So link to Raw review will be in the annotation on the upper right hand corner of your screen. Check out Stomping Grounds review as well, live on the channel right now for this past Sunday. Corbin picks Lacey Evans as special guest referee in one of the worst Universal title matches I have ever seen in my entire life. No cap. Link to Stomping Ground review will be in the annotation above on the upper right hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the reality podcast, so make sure you are connecting with your boy Chris on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, and Snapchat, Chris Most Hated. And like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys like what you see on the content, hit that subscribe button down below. Ring those bells, guys, for all notifications. Let's begin episode number 36 of the reality podcast. We're going to begin episode number 36 of the podcast with more Undertaker news. Now, I must warn you, if you guys are eating, if you guys are drinking, if you guys are watching this video while smoking a blunt, smoking hookah, taking shots. I want you guys to be careful with what you're doing, because this report that I have here could either make you choke on your food, spit out your food, spit out your beverage, choke on your fucking smoke on your hookah, your blunt, and shit. I don't want you guys dropping anything expensive in your households, but be alarmed. The Undertaker's reported Summerslam opponent might enrage some fans. TM, Storms, I hope you guys are watching. Arnold, Bobby, Soda Pop, I hope all of you guys are watching, because my expression on this report could make you laugh or make you just completely fucking go crazy. The Undertaker is reportedly wrestling more matches this year to keep the ring rust off. This is interesting because Undertaker has a full-size ring in his Texas home, but it's still a great idea to keep mixing it up to stay fresh. One big event that is reportedly on Taker's schedule takes place in Toronto with Summerslam. The biggest issue is that a lot of fans might hate his opponent. Brad Shepard reports that one match currently being considered for the dead man would see him facing a former Raw general manager and everyone's favorite son. Let me repeat that. Brad Shepard reports that one match currently being considered for the dead man would see him facing a former Raw general manager and everyone's favorite son. Brad Shepard said this, and I quote, "One match currently being considered versus Baron Corbin at SummerSlam," end quote. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Only time will tell if the company's new change in creative influence could lead to the company to go in an entirely different direction, because the company roster is full of people who could be used on the top of the card if given the proper push. The Undertaker reportedly handpicked his opponent for WrestleMania next year already, which I went over yesterday on episode number 35 of the Reality Podcast. Everyone could possibly be working towards the 36th annual show of shows. Storms has said this on the Storm stream yesterday. If this match happens, and these were on his words, if Taker versus Corbin is happening at SummerSlam, he's not going to review SummerSlam. Storms, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. What makes you think, coming from a big Undertaker fan like me, what makes you think in 2019 I want to see Baron Corbin against The Undertaker at SummerSlam? What makes you think I want to see a match like that? If this match happens, I expect this match to be a complete fucking squash at SummerSlam. This match shouldn't last longer than 30 fucking seconds. Corbin, hell, I'll book the match for you right now. Corbin and Taker go face to face. Corbin slaps Taker. Taker gives Corbin a choke slam. Tombstone pile driver. 1, 2, 3. That's your match. Hell, the way that match sounded, that match goes for at least 15 seconds. if this match happens, this is a fucking squash. This is a fucking squash. If this match goes over 2 to 3 minutes, I will be completely pissed the fuck off. You're putting a guy like The Undertaker. It's bad enough that you're putting Taker with Roman at Extreme Rules against Shane and Drew to fill up the fucking arena for Extreme Rules in Philadelphia. But it is even worse that this is even considered for SummerSlam between Taker and Baron fucking Corbin. If this happens, it's already predictable that Corbin and Lacey are not gonna win the Universal and Raw Women's titles at Extreme Rules. This is already predictable before we even get to August. This is already predictable. Expect Extreme Rules and most likely SummerSlam to be the two most predictable pay-per-views of the entire fucking calendar year when it comes to WWE pay-per-views. You thought WrestleMania was predictable. You thought the Royal Rumble was predictable. Hell, you thought that Super Showdown was predictable. I said this yesterday. Sometimes predictable is good, but not all the time. Not all the time. What is the main difference between NXT and the main roster? NXT is not predictable. NXT is not predictable. For example, Io Shirai this past Wednesday on NXT. She lost to fucking Shayna Baszler. That was a little bit predictable, if you can say the least. But what happened after the matchup? Nobody thought that Io was gonna turn heel. Nobody did. That shit just came out of fucking left field. That shit came out of left field that nobody saw coming. Unlike the fucking main roster, they insult our fucking intelligence and they fucking count their money for it. If I'm anybody in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, I wouldn't even pay $5 for nosebleed seats to sit in the Wells Fargo Center for Extreme Rules. I wouldn't. Hell, if I was offered to get free tickets for that show, I wouldn't even go. I wouldn't even go. I would just rip up the tickets. I don't give a shit about this fucking pay-per-view. I don't. I really fucking don't. So there you go. The Undertaker's reported SummerSlam opponent might enrage some fans. Hey, guess what? It could be Baron Corbin. It could be Baron Corbin. We go from one bad news article to another. A match has been announced for Raw Monday night. Get this, folks. Get this. World Wrestling Entertainment has announced the Falls Count Anywhere match between Braun Strowman and Bobby fucking Lashley for Monday's episode of Raw. This is the official announcement. Falls Count Anywhere. Braun Strowman has bested Bobby Lashley in an arm wrestling match, a one-on-one battle at Super Showdown, and this past Monday night, a tug of war. However, it was the Almighty who was standing tall after that most recent test of strength, pulling the tug rope across the eyes of the monster among men to temporarily blind the Goliath, then driving him into the ringside barricade. Strowman will have a chance for retribution against the bitter Lashley when they meet in a Falls Count Anywhere match on Raw in Dallas this Monday night. Will Lashley come to get these hands as these titans battle all over the arena in a bout where pinfalls and submissions can occur anywhere? Or will the Almighty use this chaotic stipulation to finally cut the monster among men down to size? This gave me one less of a reason why to not watch Monday Night Raw. Strowman versus Lashley in a Falls Count Anywhere Raw Monday night. Do you care? I don't. I really don't care. I got some Triple H news. Triple H reportedly stepping away from the main roster. I don't blame you, Hunter. I don't blame you. Triple H did not become executive director for Raw or SmackDown Live. Instead, he has NXT to worry about, which has been his passion project for years. Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff might be making some big changes, but Triple H reportedly won't be a part of that. Instead, Brad Shepard reports that the game will be focusing on NXT while stepping away from the gorilla position on the main roster. This is what Brad Shepard said, and I quote, Triple H will take a step back from the gorilla position from both SmackDown Live and Raw to focus on NXT, end quote. Things could get very interesting from this point on. NXT might also benefit as well if Triple H can concentrate more of his energy on cultivating superstars for years to come. Good. Have Triple H step away for a little bit because the simple fact that he should be focusing on NXT, he should be focusing on TakeOver Toronto, and most importantly, TakeOver Chicago. If I'm Triple H right now at this point, fuck the main roster. You see all those guys coming out of NXT, and I hate to sound like a fucking broken record, but it's fucking true. Look at all those guys that came out of NXT and are fucking irrelevant on the main roster. Look at all the superstars that was there. Bobby Roode, Rusev, Nakamura, Finn Balor all of a sudden is irrelevant. We haven't seen Finn Balor since fucking Super Showdown. We haven't seen Finn Balor since Super Showdown. Samoa Joe is becoming irrelevant now all of a sudden, even though he's feuding with Kofi for the title. Who else you got down there? The Revival, terrible. Heavy Machinery, terrible. The list goes on and on, folks. Do you blame Triple H for stepping away from the main roster? No. Not one fucking second. Not 1 second. I don't blame Triple H on that whatsoever. What else do I have here? I mean, I have a whole bunch. I'm just trying to pick one, to be honest. I'm just trying to look for one that really catches my eye. Because whether people like it or not, okay, I have one right here. Never mind. Paul Heyman's new role could help bring back Ronda Rousey. This women's division needs Ronda Rousey back. No cap. Paul Heyman was someone that the company was trying to get into more of an influential role for a while. Now it appears that they will get their big chance to see what Heyman can do because he is now executive director of Monday Night Raw. The fact is that Heyman knows WWE. He might have outside ventures such as looking for Larry, but the Beast Incarnate's advocate knows what is going on in WWE. He has also been working closely with a number of superstars on their segments such as Alexa Bliss, Aleister Black, Brock Lesnar, and Ronda Rousey. The Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that Heyman's new role on Raw might actually be a tempting bonus in case Ronda Rousey were to think about making a return to the ring. This is what they reported, and I quote, Heyman is very popular with the crew. He's completely up to date on everyone and everything. His influence with McMahon has grown. Having Heyman in the role strengthens the idea of Lesnar staying and Ronda returning, end quote. This is very interesting and could make it so much more fun for Ronda Rousey to be back in WWE. She is currently enjoying her life with Travis Brown on her impregnation vacation, but you really never know what can happen in WWE. I think with Paul Heyman's new role now, I think it'll bring Ronda back because I heard that on the road to WrestleMania, Ronda was working with Paul Heyman on her promos, on her segments, on the heel turn that Ronda was having after the Elimination Chamber. That was some great stuff. Some great shit. I love Ronda as that bad bitch. I love it. I fucking love it. Now, do you think with Paul Heyman's new role would bring Ronda back, I think it would. I think it would. It's not too late yet to book the Raw Women's Championship match for SummerSlam. It's not too late for that yet. It's not too late. You can always book Ronda versus Becky at SummerSlam. You can do that. The original match that we were supposed to get at WrestleMania this past April, we can see it at SummerSlam. But the question is obviously, is Ronda pregnant? Because if she's not pregnant, or at least on the road to getting pregnant, she can't come back to the ring yet. She can't come back to the ring. Now, yeah, there were reports that Ronda wanted to take time off, to have a kid with Travis Brown and stuff, to build a family and stuff. That's okay. That's fine. But now Ronda knows that Paul Heyman now has a new role. Maybe it's tempting Ronda to make a return and go after the Raw Women's Championship that she lost at WrestleMania. We haven't seen Ronda since WrestleMania. She was supposed to make an appearance on the Raw after WrestleMania. She didn't even show up. She didn't even show up. So, let's see what happens there. But I do think, if you was to ask me, with Heyman's new role, will it bring Ronda back? Yeah, I think it would. I think it would. It would be good for Heyman, and it would be a whole lot better for one Ronda Rousey. I have more news here. WWE employees, certain concerned Vince McMahon doesn't know anything about wrestling outside WWE. You're telling us something that we don't know. You're telling us something here that we don't know. Vince McMahon made the decision to place Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman in executive director roles in WWE. This was met with plenty of shock backstage. Dave Meltzer explained during Wrestling Observer Radio that many former Impact Wrestling stars who worked with Bischoff back then were especially shocked about this information. Things didn't turn out well at all for Bischoff and TNA. Therefore, it makes people wonder if the assumption has been correct all along that Vince McMahon really doesn't know anything about pro wrestling outside of his own company. This is what Dave Meltzer said, and I quote, there's a lot of people who are in TNA that are in WWE. To say that they're baffled is an understatement of the year. I mean, they're just like rolling their eyes. I mean, none of them had a clue either. I mean, they can't even believe it. They're like, how can someone be so out of touch? And the thing was, and I've heard this from a lot of people, Vince really doesn't know anything about wrestling outside World Wrestling Entertainment at all. I mean, that's kind of the conclusion, and I'm not just talking about ex-TNA guys in that company. I mean, that's been the conscience of people in and around that company across the board. Wow, we know he doesn't follow wrestling and he doesn't watch wrestling, but he doesn't know anything about wrestling anymore outside of his walls. End quote. Vince McMahon does live in his own little bubble, and that bubble has turned him into a billionaire. Now it looks like that bubble could burst soon enough. World Wrestling Entertainment has plenty of money to sustain them, but as Vince McMahon continues to steer the ship, even if he puts people around him with fancy new titles, he might soon find himself running into some rocky waters very, very soon. I'm going to say this now about Vince. Is he out of touch? Yeah, he's out of touch. Vince is out of touch. Listen, the wrestling now is outdated when it comes to the main roster. It's outdated. Completely outdated. Vince is still booking the shows on Raw and SmackDown now the way it was being booked back. She's trying to be booked back in the day. Back in the Attitude Era. It doesn't work anymore. That's what, 20, 21, 22, 23 years old already. Vince is out of fucking touch. And the fact that Vince still has the pen to creative, to these fucking scripts and then these storylines is killing the fucking company. It's completely killing the fucking company. To the point where everyone's excited for AEW come October. Yes, AEW is fresh. It's new. It's part of change. I think Vince doesn't like change. He doesn't want change to happen in WWE. And that's just my honest opinion on that. I think Vince is afraid to change. Meanwhile, you see his fucking son-in-law in NXT. NXT is up to date. Triple H has all these indie guys coming out of, New Japan, Ring of Honor, House of Glory, stuff like that. Stuff like that. Triple H knows what he's doing in NXT. That's his baby. That's his fucking child, is NXT. Vince is still paying everybody in NXT, yet he doesn't watch NXT. He doesn't watch NXT. He doesn't watch 205 Live. I bet you money he doesn't even watch fucking NXT UK. And NXT UK's been really, really good. 205 Live every week has been good. NXT, no question, NXT is the best brand in all of WWE. Out of the fucking 5 brands, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live. Which is the best brand out there? NXT. NXT. I bet you money you can put an NXT TakeOver card on the main roster on a Raw or SmackDown. I bet you money it would get over. I bet you money it would get over. Just put a Adam Cole versus Gargano match on the main roster. Bet you money it goes over. I bet you money you can put Joaquin Wilde against Angel Garza from NXT this past Wednesday. You put that on the main roster, it gets over. It gets over. Just that simple. It gets over. I think Vince is just scared to change. I think he is. He's just scared to change. That's just my honest opinion on it. WWE's reason for not giving Triple H executive director role. Now, I've heard that Triple H declined the offer. I heard it was offered to him before it was offered to Heyman and Bischoff, and Triple H declined it. That's what I heard. I've heard from a few sources here and there that it was offered to him and he declined it. But let's see what happens on this report. Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff now have big new roles in the company as executive directors on the main roster. Well, a lot of people thought when they first put this information out there was, what about Triple H? We previously reported that one longtime superstar was actually quite vocal when asking why Triple H was snubbed with these new hirings. It's quite a question. Brian Alvarez commented on Wrestling Observer Live that he was told that Triple H wasn't considered for one of the new executive offer roles because they want him to continue focusing on NXT. Triple H has turned NXT into something very special, and the quality of their product and roster shows that fact in a big way. Perhaps Triple H will receive a bigger role in the company eventually, but this time he was needed to keep doing what he's been doing. I've heard that Triple H was offered the position and he declined. That's what I heard. According to this report here by Brian Alvarez, he said that he was told that Triple H wasn't considered for one of the new executive director roles because they want him to continue focusing on NXT. Now, that's believable. I believe in this story. But then again, I kind of believe that it was offered to him and he declined it because he wants a bigger role. And what that big role is, you might ask? CEO of WWE. Triple H wants to run the day-to-day operations for World Wrestling Entertainment. Triple H wants to be more hands-on on Raw and SmackDown. He's already hands-on with NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live. He's already hands-on on it. The simple fact that Triple H is not even taking over yet is fucking unbelievable. Triple H, in, I think, 2-3 years, well, since NXT was born, because nobody wasn't paying attention to NXT when it was first born by Triple H. In the beginning, it wasn't even like that, but around 2015, that started to build up a lot of steam. After 2015, or should I say during 2015, because you had the likes of, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky, Finn Balor. You had all those guys there. All those guys there and stuff like that. That was the foundation of NXT. You had Rollins there as well. You had Roman. You had Dean there as well. You had Tyler Breeze, Neville, Sami Zayn. All those guys are NXT. They were the core and the foundation to what NXT is today. It's only a matter of time before Triple H takes over as CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment. It's only a matter of time. Have Triple H run both Raw and SmackDown. But you got to think about this as well. Vince has the XFL coming up in 2020. Who's going to be more hands-on when Vince is focusing on the XFL next year? You got to put Triple H there. You're not going to put Shane there because Shane's being used on TV more to a point where it's fucking making me sick. Have Triple H take over. I wouldn't mind Triple H taking over. As a matter of fact, Triple H taking over both Raw and SmackDown would be a whole lot better. Just watch NXT. It's a perfect example. Watch NXT. That's literally the most perfect example I can even give you. So there you go right there, folks. I don't know why Triple H wasn't even offered, but then again, I heard that he was offered a position and he declined it. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I have heard. What else do I have here on the podcast here? I have a whole bunch of news here. And I don't know. Oh! Isn't it this fucking fantastic? Things in WWE reportedly couldn't be worse right now. I wonder why. I wonder why, folks. I wonder why. World Entertainment needed to make some big changes, so they brought in Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman as executive directors of SmackDown and Raw, respectively. However, it might not make the huge difference that some might hope for. Fightful Select reports and Sean Rossap reports that one source said that things are so bad in the company that they can't get any worse. This could be a telling sign of a need to change, but since Vince McMahon is the man in charge, this might just be a surface change. Therefore, the excitement about these new roles for Heyman and Bischoff also might not make that big of an impression in the end because Vince McMahon is still running the ship. This is what Fightful Select reported, and I quote, "One said things couldn't be worse than they are right now, and another noted Vince is still in charge, so that should tell you everything," end quote. We would love it if World Wrestling Entertainment put out amazing programs every week. It will certainly make our jobs easier. Hopefully, Raw and SmackDown Live will both have new creative directions and everything is exciting from this point on. Let's just wait and see. I've said this. I've said this numerous times. I've said this numerous times, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna sit here and say it again. The longer Vince is in charge, the more sinking this ship will go. The farther sinking this ship would even go. You think Vince still in charge is gonna change everything? No. Bischoff and Heyman can give Vince the script for Raw and SmackDown. Vince can look at the script and says change, keep, change, keep. That's how he is. Vince changes everything. Perfect example. I heard, a little birdie told me that Drew McIntyre was supposed to beat Roman at Stomping Ground. But guess what? Vince made that decision, made that last minute change on the morning of the show. Yet you expect Drew McIntyre to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania next year. If anything, I would have had Drew beat Roman at WrestleMania and have Roman beat Drew on Stomping Grounds. But who am I? I'm just the wrestling fan on YouTube with over 100 subs on YouTube who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know what to tell you. If you are a Vince McMahon supporter, you have a serious mental problem. You really fucking do. The way Vince writes shows every single week, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, and copy and paste. Every single week. You know what's the problem? When Kofi is still fucking throwing pancakes and is still your WWE champion. It is a problem when we're seeing more of Shane McMahon on Raw and SmackDown than Aleister Black, Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor, Rusev. That is a fucking problem. We are seeing Shane McMahon more than the entire tag team division put together. It is a fucking problem. It's a fucking problem. It is a problem when people are spewing their opinions on the fucking show, and some of these fucking idiots on social media are defending this fucking garbage on a weekly basis. They don't know any better. They don't know any better. Now, I said this yesterday on the podcast yesterday. Don't be too excited about Bischoff and Heyman being executive directors. Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds delicious, by the way. It sounds fucking good. But at the same time, you gotta think about this in the back of your head. How long is it gonna take until we fucking trash this fucking idea? How long would it take? How long would it take? I don't know. Like I said, guys, don't be too excited about this whole entire situation with Bischoff and Heyman being executive directors. Don't be too excited. Wait until we see exact change, and then we can pop the confetti. We can pop the champagne. We can start spraying champagne to all the fucking smart fans out there. All of us smart fans can have a fucking exact celebration if we see exact change. There's nothing wrong with change. Change is good. Change is for the better. I just think Vince is afraid to change. Meanwhile, you got Bischoff and Heyman, two great minds in the wrestling industry. That's gonna be top creative of Raw and SmackDown. Am I not speaking the truth? Am I just speaking facts, or am I just speaking facts? I know most of you guys agree with me on that standpoint. I know most of you guys agree. What else do I have here? I need to look for more news here on the podcast. Give me a second here. I'm looking for more news. Let me see here. I have no idea what do I have here. Oh, alright. I guess I'll do this one. Yeah, I guess I'll do this one. WrestleMania 37 location status for WrestleMania 37 in 2021. World Wrestling Entertainment has a lot of different options when it comes to where they throw the biggest event of the year. Cities bid on hosting the event because of how much outside money and attention it brings to the city. It was previously reported that Los Angeles and their brand new stadium is the front runner to host WrestleMania 37. It is said that they want to use Mania as a tester before getting to host the Super Bowl. Brad Shepard discussed the future WrestleMania 37 location during the All You Didn't Know podcast. The company is reportedly not even considering any locations right now. After all, that is a long way away. This is what Brad Shepard said, and I quote, "There isn't much on the intentional in the initial location for WrestleMania 37 yet. No decision has been made yet regarding a location, and to date, there is no concrete front runner," end quote. WrestleMania 37 will happen somewhere, somehow. However, they are reportedly not discussing a location this soon. Los Angeles and their shiny new stadium might be hard to pass up, but the company still has to consider a lot more before thinking about what city will win WrestleMania 37 in 2021. Now, if you was to book WrestleMania 37, like as in like the location, what city they host WrestleMania, what city would you want WrestleMania to go to? I always wanted WrestleMania to go to fucking London, England. And this is fucking crazy. You know that the company known as World Wrestling Entertainment has not done a show, like a big event in the UK since SummerSlam 1992. Since the month and the year I was born in. They haven't done a fucking event outside of the United States in 17 years. In 17 years. In 17 years. Since 1992. Since 1992. We're in 2019. That is 17 years. That is crazy. Yeah, let me do that math. Hold on, because I think for some reason my math is all fucked up. Give me a second here. Wait. Sorry, 27 years. I'm fucking bugging. 27 years. Jesus fucking Christ. 27 long years. I think Sid has tagged me on a video on Twitter. I'll look at that in a minute. I'll look at that in a minute when we're done with the podcast. Anyways. What city would you guys want WrestleMania 37 to be? We all know WrestleMania 36 will be in Tampa next year, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. Where do you guys want WrestleMania 37 to be at next year? I say London. I say London. Maybe Miami. Again, I love WrestleMania 28 Miami. I love that. They gotta do one in Chicago. Minneapolis. Where else they can do it at? They can do it again in Houston. Cali. Listen, I would love for WrestleMania 37 to be in Los Angeles. I would love it. Los Angeles, I would love it. Or you can do it in Atlanta. In the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. That's a beautiful stadium. A beautiful stadium. I seen pictures of it. Gorgeous stadium. Very fucking gorgeous. Very gorgeous. But if I was to pick one location, I would probably do it in London, England for WrestleMania 37 in 2021. Vince McMahon pushing Baron Corbin due to his good looks. Baron Corbin is getting a big push in the company, and that hasn't stopped for quite some time. It seems like as if Corbin has been getting a very good shake on the main roster ever since his call-up. Now the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner and former Raw General Manager is still in the top feud with Universal Champion Seth Rollins. He will get another chance to capture the Universal title at Extreme Rules. He failed to do so when he was Mr. Money in the Bank, but perhaps the interesting winner takes all stipulation at Extreme Rules will be the lucky thing he needs to make it to the top. Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Radio that Vince McMahon continues to push Baron Corbin because of his looks. It was said that Corbin is the type of guy who Vince McMahon sees women swooning for. Who says the word swooning in 2019? Therefore, he continues to get pushed in a spotlighted role. If you notice on Raw, there don't seem to be many females booing Baron Corbin. However, that also might also be an illustration of the company's fan base. We'll love if all of our awesome female readers could help us out and weigh in on this topic down below in the comment section. If you guys are even women and you're fans of Baron Corbin, what is it about Baron Corbin about you women that you like? Please sound off down below in the comment section. The fact that Vince is pushing Baron Corbin over his fucking looks, I swear to God, on everything that I fucking love here, I swear to God, on everything that I fucking love, Corbin's getting pushed to a point of he's not going to win the Universal title. Now, don't get me wrong. Corbin, what I love about Corbin is his theme song, his Deep Six, and his End of Days. really spectacular moves, especially how he delivers it. But the way he's being booked on live television as of late, he has nothing but go away heat. Nothing but go away heat. I think this is it for the podcast. Hold on, give me a second here. Okay. I have news on Aleister Black's next opponent. On his next opponent. Aleister Black has been appearing on backstage segments for weeks now, ever since being moved over to SmackDown Live from the Superstar Shakeup. He has been begging for someone to knock on his door and pick a fight with him. This week it appeared that his answer came knocking. The former NXT champion was getting mighty frustrated with the fact that nobody was knocking on his door to fight him. Now it seems like as though he has a challenger and an opponent for Extreme Rules as well. Although this isn't 100% confirmed, WrestleVotes reported that Cesaro is currently slated to beat the man on the other side of Aleister Black's door. This is what WrestleVotes tweeted, and I quote, "As of now, Aleister Black is scheduled to work Extreme Rules. I can't 100% confirm this opponent, but as earlier today, the company has decided on Cesaro. We'll see." That's what WrestleVotes tweeted on Twitter. Aleister Black versus Cesaro would be a great match, but it's very interesting as well because Cesaro is now on the Raw brand as Black jumped to the Blue brand. However, with the wildcard rule, it seems as if brand lines are no longer a big thing anymore. I mean, you already have Joe versus Kofi. Joe is a Raw superstar, Kofi's a SmackDown superstar. So you might as well book Aleister Black versus Cesaro for Extreme Rules. You might as well do that. Now the match sounds great, but I think there is this one specific opponent I would love to see at SummerSlam for Aleister Black. Randy Orton. Just that easy. I would book Aleister Black versus Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Now, Black versus Cesaro, it sounds like a great matchup. Cesaro is freakishly great in the ring. He's amazing in the ring. I love it. I love Cesaro. But to put him in a match against Aleister Black, a SmackDown superstar, sounds interesting. I wouldn't mind it at Extreme Rules. As long as they're giving me Black versus Orton at SummerSlam, that's the match I go with at SummerSlam. So that's about it right there on that topic. Huge feud coming to SmackDown Live. WWE has some best pro wrestlers on the planet. This is why they made it to the WWE in the first place. Finn Balor was able to walk out of Super Showdown with his IC title, but now he has a new challenger that could produce some amazing matches. Finn Balor was interviewed backstage during SmackDown Live this past Tuesday, where he praised Andrade for being a great opponent. Then Kayla Braxton, Bay, asked him who he was looking at next. Suddenly, Balor stopped and looked off camera. When Shinsuke Nakamura waltzed in, he took one good long look at Balor's IC title and walked away. It looks like we're having our answer about who is next in line to face Finn Balor. We previously reported that Balor versus Nakamura was a dark match after SmackDown Live recently. Therefore, it seems as though they were preparing for something. The way you was booking Nakamura and the way you was booking Finn Balor, I ask this question. Do you think I care about a Shinsuke Nakamura Finn Balor match for the IC title at Extreme Rules? Possibly at Extreme Rules. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. If you would have gave Finn Balor the IC title a long time ago, and Nakamura would have won the WWE Championship in 2017, maybe we would have cared about a Finn Balor Nakamura match, possibly for the WWE Championship. But it's 2019, folks. Look at how Nakamura's being used. Look at how Nakamura is being fucking used. Look how Finn Balor is being used. We haven't seen Finn Balor since fucking Super Showdown. We haven't seen Nakamura since WrestleMania. We haven't seen Nakamura since WrestleMania. At that point, would I care about a Finn Balor Shinsuke Nakamura match at Extreme Rules for the Intercontinental Championship? I wouldn't care. I wouldn't really care, to be honest with you. Rounding off the news, I have a couple more stories before I get out of here. WWE, and this is hilarious, WWE breaks awful all-time record with Stomping Grounds pay-per-view. Get this. WWE still has some fans who buy pay-per-view, although the numbers have gone down dramatically over the years. There are still people out there who pay $54.99 to see what the company has to offer on their monthly specials. Why are you paying $54.99 when you can get the network for fucking $9.99? You save a good 40-something bucks. Brian Alvarez noted on the Wrestling Is Ever Live that Brian Alvarez reported, he noted on Wrestling Is Ever Live that 100,000 even decided to pay full price for WrestleMania this year. They might do this because there's an issue with internet in their area, or they might not want the WWE network for some other reason. You must be a fucking idiot if you do not want the WWE network. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Simple. Just pay $9.99 for NXT. That's it. And just binge watch the Attitude Era. That's what I do when I'm not uploading anything. I sit back, I watch NXT on Wednesday nights. On a random Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I just binge watch the Attitude Era. For example, I just finished watching the 1996 Royal Rumble this past week. Great shit. Great shit. This is what Brian Alvarez said, and I quote, most WWE pay-per-views do around 15 to 16,000 buys. One that's a little bit bigger, it'll do about 20,000. As Northern Mania did 100,000. 15 to 16,000 is the average. The previous record low in this era was 11,000 buys. The buys for Stomping Grounds, and these are non-glitched. These are the real numbers. 9,800 buys in the United States. So it's an all-time record for a WWE pay-per-view. End quote. 9,800 buys for Stomping Grounds. Yet they refuse to pay $9.99 for the WWE network. You're a fucking idiot. This is quite an accomplishment. I mean, we knew that the numbers had to be low, but the breaking all-time record is something pretty special. Congratulations, WWE. Yeah, congrats, Vince, on breaking the all-time record for lowest buys on a pay-per-view. Stomping Grounds drew 9,800 buys in the United States. You're a fucking idiot if you're paying $54.99 for a fucking 3-hour, 4-hour pay-per-view when you can get $9.99, put it in your fucking debit card or your credit card, and go watch the fucking network. It still comes out HD. I bet people are paying $60, $55, $59.99 for HD. $54.99 possibly for fucking standard TV. Why not get $9.99? Have it on the network. It's the same shit. The same quality of the shows, the same fucking product, the exact same thing. The difference is why would you pay $54.99 to $59.99 when you can just get it for $9.99 and save a few bucks? These people are fucking stupid. I swear on everything that I fucking love in this fucking planet. I swear. On this fucking planet. I swear on fucking Christ. If you pay $54.99 for a fucking pay-per-view, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. My honest opinion. Speaking of low numbers, We're going to keep on with the low number theme here on the podcast. Raw brought in scary low attendance numbers. Get this. Stomping Grounds didn't make half of the tickets available, but the next night, it seemed like WWE had an even harder time getting people to come to Raw. I wonder why. Dave Meltzer noted on the Wrestling Observer Radio that Raw's show only brought in 3,500 people for the show on Monday night in Everest. That is one of the lowest Raw attendance in their modern era. It should be noted that Everest, Washington, and Tomoka are about 62 miles apart. Therefore, it should stand to reason that fans might do both shows. It doesn't seem like that happened much, if at all. This is not a good sign for World Wrestling Entertainment. Hopefully, numbers can improve and their stint in Washington State was just a fluke of low attendance. Where are the apologists now? 3,500 people sat on that fucking arena for Raw Monday night. I call you stupid. I wouldn't even pay top dollar or the cheapest ticket, or even I wouldn't even go to the show in Barclays Center if it was fucking free. I wouldn't even pay jack shit. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't pay jack shit for this fucking show. I wouldn't. I really fucking wouldn't. This is fucking crazy. But yet, AEW is no competition to these fucking apologists, to these fucking cocksuckers, to these fucking corporate shills, to these fucking degenerates, to all the fucking cretins on social media. Yeah, AEW is no competition. Wait till Fyter Fest tonight. Wait till Fight for the Fallen in a couple of weeks. Then, and only then, don't talk to me. Finally, guys, to end this long podcast here, this article really caught my eye, and I wanted to read this out loud. NXT superstar seemingly calls out The Undertaker. Now, who is this NXT superstar that will call out the dead man? I don't know. But we're about to find out. The WWE has plenty of superstars in NXT who could be top names in WWE. However, few of them have a look quite like Damian Priest that could fit Vince McMahon's image of what a superstar should look like. The former Punishment Martinez not only has a look that Vince McMahon could logically push to the moon, but his voice is deep and menacing as well. He drew comparisons to The Undertaker long before making his NXT debut, but now that he's in NXT, this comparison to Priest and the Dead Man makes even more sense. When The Undertaker showed up on Raw this past Monday night, plenty of people were rather shocked. This immediately translated into Extreme Rules match, so it was no secret who the Phenom was after, but Damian Priest noted as well. Although Priest only tweeted out, "Hello," that one word spoke volumes. People immediately started booking this dream match in their heads while debating if there is a more logical person for The Undertaker to pass a torch to. We'll have to wait and see if Damian Priest and The Undertaker will ever get a chance to lock up in the square circle. But until then, we will just have to remain patient to see if they can finally get around to making this match even happen. It's too early, in my honest opinion, to book a dream match of some sorts between Damian Priest and The Undertaker. In what eyes is that a dream match? Yeah, sure. You got The Undertaker, who's the greatest of all time, in my honest opinion. You got Damian Priest in NXT, who's starting to look legit. Now, I'm not going to say he's a great superstar after one match on NXT this past week. Well, last week, not this past week. Not this past Wednesday, last Wednesday on NXT. Who knows? By the time Damian Priest gets called up to the main roster, or should I say be called down to the main roster, Taker could be retired or in the Hall of Fame. Now, about this Taker thing passing the torch. Taker's keeping a goddamn torch until he sees somebody who's legit enough to carry this company into the future. Now, people are going to say, oh, Taker passed that torch to Brock Lesnar. Taker lost the streak to Brock Lesnar. The streak was a fucking torch. Taker gave it to Brock Lesnar. Some people could say that. But then the other people are going to say, oh, Taker's streak was broken up by Brock Lesnar. Taker passed that torch to Brock. But then look what Brock did at Survivor Series of 2016. He lost to Bill Goldberg in 1:26 seconds. The torch is fucking done on that standpoint. The torch is fucking done. At that standpoint. Done. Completely fucking finished. There's no torch that Taker has. What else does Taker have to prove in this business? What else does Taker have to prove that everybody already knows? Taker's the greatest of all time. And I said this on the podcast before, and I'm gonna say it again. 21-0 is better than 16 world titles. I'd rather win 21 times at WrestleMania than become a 16-time loser. But a Damian Priest Undertaker match, to what people are saying is a dream match, it's not a dream match yet. You gotta build up Damian Priest to be legit enough to make it a dream match. Will this match happen down the road? Maybe. I wouldn't mind seeing it. A Damian Priest versus Undertaker match. I wouldn't mind it. But at this point, it could be too late. To many eyes. It could be too late. It could be too late. And I am getting out of here. That is all the news that I have here on episode number 36 of the Reality Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of the podcast today. Also, if you guys are new to the channel and you're watching this video for the very first time, hit that subscribe button down below. Ring those bells, guys, for all notifications. Check out episode 35 of the Reality Podcast, live on the channel right now. NXT review, live on the channel right now as we speak. The most viewed video on my channel is NXT review from this past Wednesday. SmackDown Live review, live on the channel right now. Monday Night Raw review, también, live on the channel right now. And Stomping Grounds review as well, live on the channel. Be sure to check out all these videos. They'll be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right hand corner of your screen right here on this video. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are connected with me on social media. Follow me on Twitter at Chris from Loring and on Snapchat, Chris Most Hated. And like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys like what you see on the channel, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below. Ring those bells, guys, for all notifications. I will see you guys possibly tomorrow. If I'm not going to Six Flags tomorrow, I'll probably give you guys a new, depending on if there's any news out there. If I'm not going to Six Flags tomorrow, which most likely possibly am not, unless if I find a fucking driver that can drive us straight to fucking over there, because I don't feel like driving at all. If there is enough news, we can do episode 37 tomorrow on Sunday. If not, depending on if there's any news on Monday, I'll give you guys a double upload on Monday with the episode 37 of the podcast on Monday afternoon, and then Monday Night Raw review on Monday night, rounding off the week of content here on the channel, possibly either today or tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video all over social media. I will see you guys tomorrow on either tomorrow for episode 37 of the podcast tomorrow, or Monday for a double upload on Monday. Till then, I am Chris. Talk to you guys later.